But I digress. Can we just quit saying that stupid term already? We know 5 years ago none of us were saying that. It's just media manipulation. You see people doing it, so you start copying it, and then you see your friends doing it, and you start copying your friends. But I digress. Remember once when I was a kid, there was some 50s dress-up day at school when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. And my mom dressed me up, greased my hair up, slicked it back. I looked like Arthur Fonzarelli on Happy Days. And denim jacket and jeans and cuffs up like 5 inches and up, and some kind of different shoes. I was all dressed up and snazzy. It was like this contest. And I got out the door. I was like really self-conscious. I was a real self-conscious little kid. I started walking. Made it about 2 blocks, and I just started crying because I didn't want to go to school because I was embarrassed, even though I knew it was a good outfit. And so I eventually I can't remember what I did. I walked around for like an hour. I think I couldn't go. I got to school and I turned around and went back to my mom's. So I got back to my mom's house like 2 hours later. I think she had the day off work or something like that. And she was really pissed off at me, like, what the hell are you doing? And so I was just crying to her, like, I don't want to go, I'm scared, I don't want everybody looking at me, laughing. And then she was all mad, like, saying I was a coward, being a baby, and a quitter. But yeah, she let me stay home though, and then she went to work or something. I don't know what happened. But I remember it's been like that for me most of my life, and the older I've gotten, it's gotten a little better. I can kind of, not really, I still have that problem. Like if I try to make a video where I'm playing a guitar live, I almost inevitably screw it up, or it's half of what I can do when the camera's not rolling. Or I remember I tried playing music on the street a few times, like my portable electric guitar amp and guitar, and I just would freeze up all the time, and I would sound like crap, and I'd try for about 45 minutes or an hour, and I'd just quit, unless I got a few pints in me. Then I could relax a bit and do it. One time in Portland, I played this punker party. Inadvertently, I was playing music out in the street, saw my bike messenger friends. I was like, where are you guys going? There's a punk party across the bridge. It was over in the industrial area of southeast Portland, and so I went over there, and it was like the new modern punk, It's not like the old school punk. It's not like Black Flag, Minor Threat, Sex Pistols, Ramones type punk. It's the new death metal punk. That's a different type. That should be called like black punk or something, metal punk. I don't know. It's not punk as what I consider punk. Some of it I've heard is good, but this party was like they were doing that. People in the small house. Everybody's dressed in black, of course. Mandatory status quo uniform. Just like most of my bike messenger friends do the same thing. Still to this day, 15 years later, it's all they wear. But whatever. So I had my buzz on. We had a few beers. I think I smoked a few hits of pot and weed, and then I decided to bust out my amp as this band was playing out on the sidewalk in front of the house. I started just jamming and riffing it off. I didn't care what anybody said. I had it kind of cranked up with a lot of distortion. I started going off, and then my friends were like laughing. My bike messenger friends, are hanging out with me, and they're like cracking up. Like, what are you doing, Joe? What the fuck, dude? I just started going off, and then like these other punker guys were hanging out too, and they started coming up and singing along with me. We were out in the street, and they're like going, like, yeah, we should start a band, man. And it ended up being about 20 people, about a group of 20 people, all laughing, like, what the hell's this guy doing? Like cracking up, and like, it's like, yeah, this guy's red, and all this stuff. I've had a few moments like that in my life where I've just said fuck it and gone off and didn't care what anybody said, and I happened to be in the zone, as it were, or being able to do stuff, and it always catches people off guard, and they're laughing. It kind of catches me off guard, but not really. What catches me off guard is actually having confidence for once in my life, not caring about what people are thinking of me or looking at me, and then that enables me to relax enough to focus on something and get into it, to where it works out nice. Except for these cars all the time. This road's like Murphy's Law. Every time I come on this road, there's never people. It's rarely active. And then when I'm on it making a video, there's a shitload of people. Yeah, I had another period where I could do that when I was living in all these college houses, university houses in the neighborhood I grew up in. I never went to college, but I lived with houses that were 50% college kids, or sometimes all college kids, because I grew up in that neighborhood about 3-4 miles away from there. And God, I can't believe how many cars there are right now. What the fuck? It's a fucking highway? A farmland highway now? I know, it's not like New York City or something. Believe me, for this town, this is a lot of traffic. And there's times we took psychedelics. Man, I could really go off, and then people would be like entranced then, and I'd try to stop playing, and they'd keep trying to talk me into playing. And those are different moments, though. It's funny when you can play music like that, because it's a different thing. You remember how easy it is, and it's almost so easy it gets boring. I'm not talking for all you technical virtuosos out there like my half-older brother that are into like Yngwie Malmsteen and scales and shredding. I'm talking easy as far as you can approach it and make cool sounds whatever you do to it. And that doesn't apply to your standard rules of how they mathematically made scales and chords and what the supposed rules are of music. Unapplicable because you can come up with new things to do. God, are you kidding me? What the fuck are all these cars doing? What time is it? It's not rush hour. Yeah, but so I've never gotten over that cowardice. It's gotten better with age, but I think it's always held me back from a lot of things in life. From being a creative person that can make a living doing that. Quit looking at me. It's just a fucking camera. Why you people trip out on that? Every single person almost has to stare at you when you're doing this. Like it's some big amazing thing. But yeah, it holds you back, you know, when you can't. I guess it's lack of confidence. Same thing with ladies. Rarely talk to them and clam up the same way. That's not true. Sometimes I do talk to them. I don't. That's like totally off my list now. I don't give a shit about that anymore. Just from seeing how people act when they get in relationships. It's very few people, and these are the ones that I know are going to last long. Very few people that can be in love with their partner and they're together for a long time, but they're not overly codependent on each other and unrealistic about it, like most people are. I'd say 80% of people in relationships are on this stupid haze. It's almost like a drug. They think that everything, all they can see is their little tinted glasses through their little in love high that they're getting from this person they're with, and they don't really see anything else, and they kind of cut everybody else out without even realizing they're doing it. It's really idiotic. They're like, you won't hear from people all of a sudden for a long time because they're in love with so-and-so. Oh. And then when you do hear from them, it's because 6 months later they're in a horrible state of mind because so-and-so didn't work out or whatever. It's just stupid. But I have a couple friends, and not many, like I said, about 20%, maybe 10, that I know are going to last a long time. And not even the ones that think I might be talking about them now. But there's a couple that they still do their own independent thing. They still respect each other. They have their kids or whatever. They still care for each other. They still are attracted, you know, all that stuff. But they're not stupid with it. They're not in some drug love haze, acting like idiots and can't see anything else around the world. They still have friends. They still do their thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I could find that, maybe. It doesn't look like it at this point. I was basing on 40 in like 3 weeks. And I just don't want it. I don't want the bogus crap. I fell into that stupid trap last time of not seeing anything else, kind of. Not really. Yeah, I guess I did too much. Too much so, anyways. So that ended like shit. That's how that goes, you know. Confidence. Is that what my point was? But I digress. Yeah.